Okay, Euler's formula, they're giving it to you. They're saying it use that to derive this over here and this. All right, so what I would recommend you do is write down Euler's formula for those angles. A couple different things you got to do. You got to do e to the IA. What's that going to be? Cosine of A plus I sine of A. Relatively simple. E to the IB. What's that going to be? Well, cosine of B plus I sine of B. What else did I write down? E to the I, A plus B. What's that going to look like? Cosine of A plus B plus I sine A plus B. Let me show you where this is in a K. I have this written down. I have this written down. And I have this written down. Now, I can imagine getting stuck at this point, but if you look at it, one thing I'd recommend you do is realize that I could just multiply things together. For example, e to the IA times e to the IB. I add the exponents together. You're going to get e to the I, A plus B. And what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to multiply this out. And when I do that, it should be identical to this over here. All right, let's see what happens. And let's take a look at that. And you're going to get cosine A times cosine B. And then you're going to get, let's see, plus I squared sine A sine B. All right, then you get these internal terms, which is going to be I, let's see, cosine A sine B. Another term with an I in it, and that's going to be sine A cosine B. All right, let's take a look at that. And one thing I noticed right away is that the I squared is minus 1. And that's going to be minus sine A sine B. All right, so we just took care of this over here. The other thing I noticed about these other two terms over here, I'm just going to factor out an I. And what do you get there? Plus I. And you're going to get cosine A sine B. And then you're going to get, let's see, plus sine A sine B. All right? Okay, so what I'm going to claim over here is that things better line up. In other words, I'm getting a real and an imaginary part to this complex number. And so I'm getting this over here. Oops, let me get the highlighter out. I'm getting this part here, and I'm seeing this part right here. Question, is that the formula we needed to derive? Well, the cosine of A plus B is cosine A cosine B. Yeah, it's perfect. It's exactly what we expected it to be, all right? Now let's equate the other part, and that's the imaginary part. So we're equating this with this part over here. And is it the same thing? I don't know, let's take a look at it. So again, we're trying to equate this with this over here. And what do you get there? Sine of A plus B. They say cosine A sine B. Well, I see that here. I'm definitely seeing that. And then, let's see, sine A. I'm sorry, I'm looking at something strange here. Oh, I copied something wrong here. That's why it looks strange. I got to correct this. Sorry about that. It's going to be corrected right now, all right? I'm not sure how that happened. I just copied wrong. Let me write down again. So cosine A sine B plus sine A cosine B. Again, I'm just copying it from over here, by the way. Again, let's go back and look. We're looking at this, and we're looking at this, and seeing if we're getting what we need. So sine of A plus B, I'm looking at this thing over here. Let's see, sine A cosine B. I see that there. And then cosine A sine B. I'm seeing it over there. Things are lining up. We're basically equating coefficients. Okay? Thank you so much for paying attention.